So one of the other questions I had, and I don't know how this relates, it's just like, I guess my curiosity is, like wearing sunglasses on a sunny day. What is that like? I've heard both ends of the spectrum on that. Like, is that beneficial because the sun, it's just so much, you don't need that much, you're getting absorbing it through your body, like it's good for your eyes to take a rest? Or is it like, I've heard the other end of the spectrum is wearing sunglasses is not good because it doesn't let your body recognize that you're in the sun?
Yeah, I've heard both too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know
So
if you
I
knew.
think that a couple things. One, being out in the sun is absorbing through your skin too, right? So that you can look up at the sun and close your eyes and get a similar benefit as if you had your eyes open looking through sunglasses, because you're, even with your eyes closed, when you stare at the sun, you can see this, you can see it, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, of
there's,
course.
you stare like pitch black, and then you stare, like, close your eyelids outside. So like a lot of people say when they go out and get red sun in the morning, there's this idea like, go out, get 10-15 minutes of red sun in the morning. A lot of people say just stand there with your eyes closed and put your arms out and just like let it bask on you. You can't stare at the sun, it's too bright.
Of course.
So when it comes to sunglasses, that's really what it is you're wearing them for.
Yeah.
You're wearing them because the sun's just simply too bright to function as a human being when it's right in your face. Yeah, are you not getting all of the benefits of the sun through your eyeballs that you could possibly get? Yeah, maybe, but you're spending so much time outside. The sun is seeping through your skin. This idea that you're going to trick your brain when you're outside wearing sunglasses to think that it's not sunny outside, that light
Yeah.
is, unless you were had it like vacuum sealed on your face, that light
Sure.
is coming, like light is more penetrating than water even, right? It can, through the tiniest, smallest, littlest thing you've ever seen, light will find its way through. But the other thing is too, is people with light colored eyes are much more sensitive to the sun than with dark colored eyes. So if you get somebody with brown eyes not wearing sunglasses, that's just because they're perceiving that light differently than somebody with blue. I can't, it looks like you might have blue or hazel eyes. I can't tell.
It's like they're
Or
like
brown.
green or brown.
Green,
Yeah.
green or brown. Okay, yeah. So you're probably like not super sensitive like to the
Yeah.
sun. You're like, find yourself not wearing. I do that all the time. I'll be driving and like just simply not wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
Plus you can burn your eyelids. It's very thin skin. So if you're out on the beach all day and you get sunburned, wearing sunglasses also prevents you from like burning under your eyes and on
True.
top of
Yeah.
your eyelids, and that any area that the skin is thin is going to burn really easy. Same thing with your nose too, right?
Yeah. No, I mean
Yeah.
that's
So
the
wear
areas I get
sunglasses.
burnt.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, wear sunglasses for sure, because if not, it'd be really hard to function. But also the idea of closing your eyes and basking in the sun is totally appropriate. I think that would be, if you were laying in the sun on the beach, I would lay without my sunglasses on, eyes closed, before I sit there with my eyes open and my sunglasses on.
Makes sense. All right, and then that was kind of like not really off topic, but just something I jotted down, thought it was interesting. But in general, I was gonna ask, who do you have like using your product? Have there been any gamers of note that have used your product, or any doctors that have used your product? Anyone that you would want to talk story about?
Yeah, so several. I mean, there's a couple doctors that they couldn't officially endorse us because they're members of like national, like the American Association of Ophthalmology, people like
Okay.
that. But there's one doctor that's on YouTube. His name is Dr. Eye Health, and he was actually doing a video about like the best blue light glasses. And at the end of one of the videos, he mentions this lens manufacturer that you can only get at an eye doctor's office. Happens to be the lens manufacturer that we know as well. And so we're like, hey, like that lens you said was amazing. Like we actually use some similar technology, and let me explain it to you. And he was like, oh my gosh. So he did a video calling us like the best gaming glasses, but that's
awesome.
because we use a prescription doctor's office quality lens he was familiar with. So
Nice.
yeah, you can look up Dr. Eye Health on YouTube. He's got a blog, he's got a channel, he talks about everything.
Cool.
And he's not saying we're the only game in town either. He just didn't know about us until I saw that video. We have like 800 people in our partnership program. We've had, like big streamers who we didn't know were going to wear them, like Myth and Shiv and some teep and these guys. And then we've had other people where we've paid them to wear them, you know, which is my least favorite relationship. Like
Sure.
you can pay anybody to say anything about your product in this community. And it's kind of a bummer. Like we're really strict on like, we need to be able to send them to you, you wear them and they help you. And then, cause that's the only way you're going to be able to like, for lack of better terms, sell it to your audience. Like you have to be able to go to your community and be like, remember guys, how I was sleeping like crap? Like I'm sleeping so much better now that I'm wearing Gamer Advantage. It'll sell immediately. But if you're just like, hey, I partnered with Gamer Advantage, use my code for 10% off blue light glass. I'm like, I hate it. I hate it so much. So yeah, we've had, I mean, there's dozens, every tier 1 org has touched or tried our glasses. There's just so many expectations because we're a brand in the space, everybody wants a big fat check from us. And we're competing for sponsorships with people like Chipotle. And they just have some arbitrary budget through some marketing agency somewhere that's like, hey, like, you know, the deal with like Porsche did a deal with FaZe Clan or I forget. Like, so I'm like, all I'm trying to do is say like, okay, listen, for like $100, these glasses literally help me sleep better. I think they'll help you sleep better too. And if they don't, I'll just give you your money back. Like we just say 45 days, no questions asked, we'll give you your money back. So we've had thousands of content creators wear our product. We still have, when you say big, like we have hundreds of creators that are over like, you know, 500 viewers on Twitch or whatever. We definitely, Willers is one of the bigger Tarkov streamers, and Gingy, one of the most viewed female streamers. They both wear our glasses. We've had people like a Black Hokage. He was a guy that like I didn't even know was wearing them. He's just a customer. Like that was pretty cool. That seems to happen like all the time. Like, so yeah, definitely our fair share of people who have worn them and loved them.
That's cool.
And our return rate is 1.5%. So that's really the metric that drives us forward pretty strongly. That's why we say like, all right, how about stop complaining and stop fighting me and stop trying to prove me wrong and prove why I don't know what I'm talking about and tell me that I don't know gaming and tell me that I don't understand the industry. Like, listen, I've been gaming longer than you. I hate saying it, but I'm old enough now to say it. Like I've been gaming for twice as long as you've been alive. Like I've been playing video games. I'm telling you that these glasses help me sleep better. You don't have to try them if you don't want to, but if you're going to talk, if you're going to talk smack, how about buy them? And if they don't work, I'll give you your money back and I'll pay for the shipping. Yeah. And I will just please try them. That's the best. That's been kind of my mantra since day one, because I don't know how else to do it. Because I know just paying and running like this BS corporate Facebook ads and that kind of stuff, we've tried it. It just never gets the right message across.
I mean, that's for me, like investing, you know, money in something like it says a lot because, you know, I'm obviously on a budget and I'm like, you know, for like one of the podcasts I listened to on Rogan was like that Paul Stamets guy who was like the crazy mushroom, you know, farmer. But like, I don't know, his podcast changed my perception. I was like, hey, I want to try his supplements, his you know, lion's mane supplement or whatever. And you know, even if it is just you know, that like in my head kind of thing, I feel like I enjoy the supplements that he has. But again, that it took me, you know, a 3-hour podcast and then thinking about it and then be like, all right, I'll give it a try to really get my sale, you know. So I have to imagine that, you know, for everyone else, like it's probably similar, you know, or I don't know if people put much
especially when you can buy them for $20 on Amazon.
Yeah,
so that's what we're up against. It's like, well, I can buy these for $20 on Amazon. I'm like, no, you can't. It's not the same thing.
Yeah,
you know, we're doing first of all, we do prescription, so we're regulated by the FDA. We have to be HIPAA compliant. Those glasses you're buying on Amazon are imported as novelties. They're lenses glued in. They're not. You get hit in the face with like a baseball or something. Like those things have no protection. I have to follow certain like safety guidelines because I can put prescription in them. But it was the same. You mentioned the placebo effect, which is a great Harvard article about that, where basically like there is nothing wrong with purchasing a product that gives you a placebo effect. Like that's a good thing. And that they said that in that melatonin podcast I was listening to, where they said if you walked into your doctor and said, hey, I'm taking 30 milligrams of melatonin, which you need like zero point 0.0 or 0.2 milligrams, I guess, or something. But by the time you take it, it takes like so long to get through your body that you don't really get much of what you're taking. But let's say you say I take 10 milligrams of melatonin every night and I've been sleeping really well and I feel better and look at my blood sugar has gotten better. A doctor's never going to say, so well, stop taking that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you buy lion's mane and it turns you into a healthier person because you feel more empowered and you feel healthier, that's a real thing. Like the placebo effect can change
100%. Yeah.
change you physically. So that's positive. I think putting on the glasses definitely is a reminder for me, at least, to be a little bit more conscious of some of the decisions I make throughout the day. Like when I get into my setup and I like put my glasses on, I'm like, all right, if I'm doing this, like I'm making a conscious effort to be a little bit healthier. So then they're just kind of there reminding me, okay, well, what am I going to eat today? Well, you're wearing the glasses. Are you really going to eat like crap too?
Yeah,
and sometimes you say yes. You're like, hey, I worked out today and I haven't had McDonald's in a long time. I'm getting McDonald's.
Yeah.
I posted the other day for my mental health today. I put Cool Ranch Doritos on my peanut butter and jelly. And all I was trying to say is just like it every now and then it's okay as long as you're doing
100%.
some of this other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where like I enjoy, listening to a lot of like health discussion, especially long form podcasts and things like that. But yeah, where they lose me is just like that, like the one guy I follow, I had a meniscus injury on my knee and it was the knee over toes guy. And I'm like, oh, he's a great source of information. But the dude doesn't eat a carb. Like he doesn't,
Right.
He literally is like the guy from Step Brothers. Like, I haven't had a carb in however many years. And it's like, dude, I'm not going to do that. Like, I love pizza. Like, I'm going to eat pizza.
And that's
like,
okay.
And like, I think everyone, as long as you have some, thought to it, I think you're in a good space. But yeah, it's like, I think, again, that's like the internet effect of people sometimes where they just go, I mean, that dude, specifically knees over toes guy, is just an insane, like, healthy dude, and he's just taking his ideas to the next level. But I feel like also in general, like the internet has like tried to produce people that are like extreme. And like I feel like people just need to know that you don't need to be extreme to like do things like whether it's health or whatever it is. Like if it's gaming, if you love gaming, like you don't need to game for the entire day. Like if you love it, sure. Like if you love it and that's making you money or whatever, like do it. But it's not like necessary, I guess. But I guess on that same conversation, do you have a sense of like, would these glasses keep you more focused and alert during a gaming session or during work or anything like that?
Yeah, so we even one of our lenses is named Focus. And to not complicate things, sometimes we just say like, hey, wear these glasses and they can make you a better gamer. And it's like, wow, that's a stretch. How is that possible? And it's like, okay, a couple things. So at the really basic level, when you wear glasses, you blink more often. It's just a product of the lens being in front of your eye. Blinking more often keeps your eye more hydrated. The more hydrated your eye is, the less dry eye you'll get. Plus, a lot of gamers have fans and stuff in their rooms. And so wearing glasses would also prevent direct contact with the air from fans and air drying it out. Now, I know that's even sounds like a stretch, right? But let's go back to sleep. If you sleep better, 100%, there is improvement in some of the most important metrics. And the one I like to focus on is cognition. So reaction time this is how I explain it in layman's terms. Reaction time, the thing caffeine might be able to improve, speed, right, is how fast you can turn left or right. Cognition is the quality of the decision. So yeah, you turn left faster, but you were supposed to go right. Now you're dead, right? So when we look at quality of sleep, what we find is better quality gameplay, better decision making. Like, yeah, you might be able to sleep like crap, slam a monster, be wired out of your mind. And if you're just button mashing or doing something like playing Grand Theft Auto roleplay or something, yeah, that could be a lot of fun. But when it comes to some of these competitive gamers, I mean, you can look at it from every angle, but the most easiest way is look at when the Boston Red Sox won the World Series. Go back and listen to some of the interviews with Alex Cora, where he's like, well, we had these sleep coaches here that could literally, like, you might say that, okay, let me give you a real quick hypothetical. You're in the game 7 of the World Series. It's the night before. You tell everybody, go to bed, get a good night's rest. Your two first starting pitchers, one guy stays in his hotel room all night, plays video games. The other guy goes out, has a few beers, and then goes to bed. Immediately, you're like, the guy with alcohol, it shouldn't be the starting pitcher. It's got to be the guy who just hung out and played video games all night, right? Like, if you drank, like, there's no way. But this guy stayed up till like 1 a.m, and this guy got back at like 10 and drank a bunch of water and like went to bed at the right time. And so now so when you do the actual cognition test, you're like, yeah, he might have drank last night, but because he did all these other things to offset it and still got a good night's rest, like, he's the better pitcher. Where you play video games and that had a detrimental impact on your quality of sleep. And while you might wake up and still feel like the best pitcher on the team, your cognition is actually lower than we'd like to see. And, baseball's the best sport for that, because it's like all science now. Everything is data in baseball. So they'll put these like players through these like brain exercises to figure out, like, are you capable of pitching in the bottom of the 9th? Like, do you have the mental capacity?
That's crazy.
To do this. And I think we have to look at it as the same way of gaming. If you're not sleeping well, there's no way you could ever have like the mental capacity to be a great gamer.
Yeah. No, and it does, just overcoming any feat, having the drive to do that takes some really improved mental cognition, and looking at something and saying, even if it is a game that's supposed to be fun, I'm sure there are situations that these professional esports players get in and they're just like, I don't want to do this, but I'm in a tournament or I have to train or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's the most telling areas of, are you functioning properly? Is your brain functioning properly? Is if you can overcome a challenge like that when it's tough or whatever.
Well, the industry's done a horrible job. They dumped, private equity and venture capitalists. They come in and pump a bunch of money into these orgs, and they just make them into content houses. And these guys, in the beginning of competitive gaming, nobody gave a flying F about the health and wellness mentally and physically of these kids who are essentially kids. And it's still not that great today. Look at the average professional esports athlete who could very easily make millions and millions, if not tens of millions of dollars, is retiring like at 27. Like Tom Brady played in he played in the NFL for like 30 years. Something maybe even more than that, like 25 years. And it's like, if you can play 25 years of professional football and get hit over and over and work out every single day and win 7 Super Bowls and do all this crazy stuff, like, there's just no way you shouldn't be able to do that playing video games. Like, why, how is it possible that gaming is so stressful that you can't even do it professionally for more than maybe like 5 years? And I think it's because when you don't sleep well and then you spend your time in an environment that's so social media driven, mentally it is almost more challenging than it is physically.
Yeah.
And you just get yourself in a rut. We see it with XQC, one of the biggest streamers in the world. You can just see it in people's faces. They're like, damn, that person is like, there's something like missing. They're not in a good spot right now. And a lot of it goes back to no social life, not sleeping well, not eating well. COVID did a real number on a lot of people, for sure.
And it is like, it's a blessing for a lot of people in the realm or the gaming realm, where you're like, all right, this person just bought a house with his, he just got sponsored or whatever. He's on a team, he just bought himself a house, or his family a house, and now he's a professional. Like, you can't deny that's awesome. He's doing what he loves. But then on the other end, we're still in that kind of like wild west of, like, you don't really know what the end game, no pun intended, but the end strategy is for these gamers now. Because just 5-10 years ago, we never thought there'd be a professional gamer that you can make money. And now that that's a thing, it's like, all right, what is the strategy? Is it going to be like football, where you just like hope for the best and, like, you hope to get a couple good years and hopefully you don't blow your money, or is it going to be a longevity thing? Can it be a longevity thing? It's definitely super interesting. And just like, vaping versus smoking, we really don't know what's going to happen with these professional esports players, gamers.
And it's in the
same
vein, same thing. We don't know what long-term exposure to this light that's disrupting our circuit. It could be like a really sad story 20 years from now that I'm not really interested in being a part of. Here's a couple things I do know for certain. Number one, nearsightedness in children is risen. Myopia is on the rise. And they're talking a lot of it having to do with kids being introduced to digital devices when they're younger. Their arms are shorter. They hold devices closer to their face. And so they develop nearsightedness. That's a good. There's a lot of articles on that. The second thing I know is that device manufacturers for about the last 10 years have been putting blue light filters and blue light features in their devices. Apple calls it night shift. They might not call it that anymore. Blue shield, blue defense, you name it. You buy a monitor, phone, you can remove the blue light. Now, if blue light wasn't a thing, why would all these device companies invest so much money into filters and programs that remove blue light from your device? Like, why would they insist to make the screen look crappier? Because it's good for you. Like, they know, or must be, I think they know, but I look at it like the McDonald's hot coffee thing. If every device manufacturer puts on their devices a blue light filter of some type, then when the first mom sues Apple because her kid spent too much time on an iPad and has slept so poorly that he's now developed some type of debilitating condition, Apple's going to say, we've had blue light filtering on our devices for 15 years. You elected not to use them. No different than now McDonald's coffee cups have to say caution hot, like no duh, right? But I just find it so crazy that have you ever seen an Apple commercial highlighting night shift? Ever?
No.
And I think the reason is because they can't say it does anything.
Yeah.
They can't be, because they
That's a good point.
They don't have any data that just shutting the blue light off on your phone does anything.
But they have an idea.
But they have an idea. Exactly. Yeah. They know it's something, but they're not. So they're doing the best they can with the information they have to protect themselves.
And it's about liability, obviously.
Yeah, I think it is, because why else would you do it? Like, would you ever turn the blue light filter on your TV?
Yeah, I didn't even know that was an option.
What, and would you though? Like, why watch TV? They just shut the TV. You ever try to shut, when you get done with this call, go play Fortnite, but turn the blue light filter on your device, on your monitor, and go watch what it's like to play Fortnite. Nobody's shutting the blue light off. Stop it. Like, this is not happening. Yeah, people always say to me, well, I can just download Flux or use Night Shift on my phone. I'm like, okay, we got two devices covered. Now they look like crap, where our glasses don't change it. They don't change any color. Yeah. But what about the 85? I literally have like 4 Govee lights in here right now, and they're all set to like a light blue color.
Yeah.
Like, this is your car, your dashboard of your car, the lights behind your head.
It's
like,
insane.
It's just an endless amount. Yeah, it's an endless amount. So.
Well, this was honestly so cool. I mean, this is a subject I was really interested in, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to speak today, and one of the reasons I pursued this interview. I usually like to at least squeeze this in or end the interview on, just purely about gaming in general. But what is, your maybe favorite game of all time, and then what's something that you're like most stoked to play recently?
Okay, favorite game of all time is I have a few, but I'm gonna say Red Dead Redemption 2. It was the closest I've ever been to a character. I cried at the end. I listened to the soundtrack in my car for like months afterwards. Like, I just felt like it was so awesome. I found a rejuvenation for Halo recently, so I've been playing both Halo Infinite and Guardians. I've been like swapping back and forth between the two. I'd say what I'm most stoked for, like, and it's stupid because it's so far away, is Grand Theft Auto 6. Like, I just can't wait for it. And then they've already like teased another Red Dead Redemption after Grand Theft Auto 6. So I think it's just crazy that I'm like excited for games that might not come out until I'm 40. Like, when games were coming out, they were coming out like next month.
Yeah.
Now they're teasing games and they're like, Grand Theft Auto 6 is 2025. And
Yeah,
if it's
it's
a
crazy.
holiday of 25, you might as well have just said 26.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly. And it
So
probably will be.
I'm excited for that. But I've been playing a lot of Halo. I'm having a ton of fun playing Halo for no reason. Halo where it all started for me. I mean,
Yeah,
with online multiplayer. So
for
it's
sure.
just so fun that it's kept so true to its origin. I love it.
And are you just playing on Xbox, or what is
Yeah,
your
I play on
system? Yeah.
Xbox. I have PC. On PC, I would play Grand Theft Auto on PC, play Apex a little bit on PC. All my friends are old. Like I said, being in our late 30s, so all my friends have Xboxes, and I found it's
Okay.
easier to convince a friend who doesn't came to buy an Xbox than it is to buy a gaming PC.
Yeah.
So I do luckily have like a pretty sweet setup, and every now and then I stream for the brand and stuff like that. But I find myself mostly playing Xbox with my other late 30s friends.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. No, that's
But nightly, daily. And one of the guys in our group is just turned 50.
okay.
And if you were on the chat with him, it's just one of the guys. You'd have no clue that he's
Yeah.
50.
No,
He's just one of the dudes. And we play almost every night. Like after my kids go to bed, like my wife, her and I hang out for a minute. She likes to go to bed a little earlier than me, and I get like a solid 90 minutes almost every single night to game. So
no, it's fun. And I mean that the aspect of chatting with your friends and just like I don't know, like every so often you just have like a belly laugh, like you just get it's funny,
Oh my God.
I forgot, like, again, I've been in and out of gaming my whole life, like starting with I'm 28, so I'm Game Boy Advance, PS2, GameCube, then we got PS3, and then now I'm on the Switch. But it's like I go in and
now
out
I
of
remember what I was gonna say to you before. Ring Fit for the Switch.
Okay.
Ring Fit. Ring Fit. Yeah, if you can't get outside in the winter, if you can't get out, it's like a Pilates ring basically, but you put your Joy-Con in it, and it's really cool. You run and then you like use it like a bow and arrow and use it to, like shoot stuff, and it's an exercise program.
Huh.
Dude, you do an hour of Ring Fit, it'll kick your ass, but it's so much fun on the Nintendo Switch.
No
I'm
way.
glad you brought that up again because that's what I was thinking of earlier.
No, I have to check that out. That's sweet. No, I figured I that's one thing I haven't done with my Switch yet is because I know like with what was the one before? It was like Wii Sports was like the biggest thing. Yeah. Bowling, know, we would go over to my friend's house and bowl. But yeah, that's being in and out of gaming for so long. It's like it feels like every time I'm like getting over gaming, I guess like I come back and I'm like, wait, this is actually so fun.
It is. That's like you don't ever leave it.
Yeah, but no, but I really appreciate you getting on this call. I won't take up any more of your time today. But yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it.